Okay, so good morning, everyone. So this is our lecture discussion to continue the routing. Okay, so before we start, a quick recap. What is routing? Routing forwarding of packet from one network to another network. Choosing the best path from the routing table. Who does the routing? A router does the routing. Okay, and which table maintained by the router? Routing table. And what it is stored in the routing table? Networks. All the networks, whatever, if router has the entry, then only it will pass the traffic. So all entries need to be in the routing table, all destination. So there are three types of routing: static routing, default routing, and dynamic routing. Okay, static routing is manually. Okay, like yesterday we saw in detail. We have two sites, India site and USA site. Okay, so by default the behavior of the router is it store in routing table all the directly connected networks. So in India, India LAN and India WAN, that will be in its routing table. For the USA, India LAN and USA WAN, sorry, USA LAN and USA WAN, it will be in routing table. Okay, but they will not know about the destination which is not directly connected. So in India router, we use static routing. We go to the India router and told that this is your destination and you can reach to this via this next hop. And in USA router, we told this is your destination and you can reach via this next hop. So this is how we can we do a static routing. By manually, we need to add all the destinations. Okay, which is good for the small sites and all, but not good for the big sites. Because if suppose you have 100 routes, 100 networks, so you need to add all the 100 networks into that. So which is not possible. Okay, then there is something called internet. Okay, in the internet, we from users, they access the internet like facebook.com or youtube.com. So every .com or every internet site has some IP address. So your router, when the traffic, let's say this user, he is accessing Google, so this Google will you browse via this Google request will go to the Hyderabad router. So this router, he should have a Google entry in its routing table. Let's say this user is going for yahoo.com. So this Hyderabad router should have a yahoo.com route. But do you know the routes of all the networks like Google, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn? No, you will not know about that. That's why whenever you are unknown destination, we use default route. And what we said, IP route 0.0.0.0. Like any network, any subnet mask, please go to the next hop. So what we point directly, generally this is your office. So in the router, what we say, if any network 0.00, please send to the internet, or you can just give it next hop of ISP, or just you pass from this interface. So what will happen? Whatever this traffic, it will come to Hyderabad. If any unknown destination, then directly it will send to the internet, and from internet it will reach to the this one. So default routing, it is used on the internet. Static routing, it is used for the smaller net. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, so default routing syntax, this is called a syntax. So just you know to say IP route 0.0.0.0. Okay, so for example, let me quickly open it. Where is my yesterday's lab? Okay, basic routing diagram. Okay, see, as I told yesterday, you can choose a basic diagram, and on top of that diagram, you can use these protocols. Okay, so this is a default one. If I go here into the router and quickly check all the stuffs like it is India router. Show IP interface brief. So it has two network connected. One is a India LAN and this is a ISP. This is a India WAN. Okay. And if you see show IP route, so you will see the C means are directly connected. See this network and this network, 192.168.10 dot network, 192.168.1 dot network. So there is no routing here. So if you go to the USA router, similarly, you go to the USA router, sorry. Control Shift 6, yes. Okay, so enable show IP interface brief. So you can see here 20 dot network and one dot network. So these two networks are connected directly. So if you see show IP route, so you can see one network and 20 network. So now we understand that this router has two network information which is directly connected, this one and this one. And US router has this information, this one and this one. So now when USL India LAN, they want to talk to USL LAN, this machine to this machine. Then what they need, the request will go to the next hop, which is on the router, and router need a route of USL LAN. Similarly, USA router need a route of India LAN. So there are two options. So either you can use the static route or default. Default means, see, if suppose in India router you don't know what is the USL network, so simply what you can say, IP route 0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0 any network, okay, and you can say pass it via Giga Ethernet. If you put the question mark, Giga Ethernet 0/1. So you are just passing this information. And if you go and check the routing table, show IP route, so default route will be sit on down of the routing table, and directly default route, it is represented as a star. S means a candidate default. Okay, so we put this. Similarly, India USA router, he don't know what is the India LAN. So in that case, we can simply go and say IP route, we can add the default route. Okay, and go via Giga Ethernet 0/1. Done. So now show IP route. If you look at here, see, it is also having. So what it is saying, if these people, if they try to come, if they want to go anywhere, then it has this route entry. 0.0, it means it has all the rights. It can go anywhere. Okay. So now if you go here, and see, if you go to here and ping 192.168.20.10. First, it will go for the ARP resolution. Okay, see, it's pinging now. Okay, so it's pinging now. So, and how it is pinging? If you go for tracert 192.168.20.10. So if you go here, so what it does? First, this IP address is, this machine IP address 192.168.10.10. First, it will go to its gateway. Then it will go to the next hop. Then finally it reaches to the destination. Right? So routing, it will, how the direction is. See, it will go here, from here to here, and here to here. So this is how the default routing is work. But if you look at here, so what I can do, I can just simply go and remove this default route. I removed this default route. From here also, I'm going to remove this default route. Config terminal. See, when I put Control A, so directly it will come here in the left side. Just say no. So now if you go back and try to ping this guy again, see what it's saying, destination host unreachable. So they don't know, they're unable to go there. Okay, so it means it is going to router, and this router don't have any route where it can pass the traffic. That's why it's giving destination is unrow. Okay, so default routing, you know, you must need the destination network. In every router, you need to add all the non-directly connected networks. Manually, you need to add. Similarly, default route, it is used for the internet, where all the unknown destinations. So you can just put simply default route towards internet. So you can browse anything. Default route used for the internet. Static routing, it is used for the smaller network where you must know the destination networks. Okay, now the third routing protocol is that is called dynamic routing protocol. Okay, what is dynamic routing protocol? Just have a look in detail here. Okay, so dynamic routing protocol, it is broadly, see, protocol means what? A set of rules. It is broadly categorized into two types. Okay, one is IGP, one is EGP. What is IGP? IGP means interior gateway routing, interior gateway protocol, IGP. So under the IGP, these protocols are working: RIP, OSPF, EIGRP. This IGRP, it is dead. Similarly, oops, sorry. Okay, IGP, and this is called IGP and EGP. EGP means exterior gateway protocol, interior gateway protocol, exterior gateway protocol. And in EGP, there is only one protocol work, which is also called as a internet protocol, which is called BGP, border gateway protocol. IGP, it is an interior gateway protocol where RIP, OSPF, and EIGRP. These are the very useful protocols. Okay, so this is called an autonomous system. So can you see here, when you go to the Google or somewhere, so you know you're going like this. Internet is a mesh of the routing from here to here, here to here, here to here, like this. So that's why the routing is very important in passing the route. How you are accessing that, how you are able to access the destination which is in the USA, how you are able to access the destination server which is in the UK. From Hyderabad, how you are reaching that? So you are reaching like this from your router to the nearest ISP router, from here, shortest path, like this. So in the background, these routing protocols are work in the background. So between two different autonomous systems, the BGP protocol is work, which is very heavy protocol. There is a separate paper in the Cisco BGP specialist. Okay, so all the ISPs, they use the BGP. Okay, but in our infrastructure offices, generally we use these interior gateway protocols. Either we will use RIP, we will use OSPF, or we will use the EIGRP. Okay, the ISPs, they use BGP. So there is something called MPLS, so where heavily use the BGP, and there is a separate stream in the Cisco that is called service provider. So in the service provider, you will see the detailed study of the BGP, or also in the CCNP, you will see the detail of the BGP protocol stuff. Okay, but in CCNA level, you must know about the what are the heavy, like what are the broader protocols, and we can see the basics of the RIP, OSPF, and EIGRP. How this dynamic protocol can be used. See, all this protocol does the same thing. They just add the route into the routing table. These are just only the methods. You have the choice which one you want. Okay. So if you look at here, routing protocol classification, IGP, EGP. Okay, interior gateway routing protocol, gateway protocol, external gateway protocol. A routing protocol used within autonomous system. Within autonomous system is the number. Okay, it is work between that, and all routers will be routing within the same autonomous system. In IGP, all routers will be, let's say this is your organization, okay, and you have one site here, one site here, one site here, one site here. So you are working within this autonomous systems. So this is the IGP will work here. But if suppose you have two different autonomous system, and here also some routings protocols working, when you want to connect two different autonomous system, then you need a BGP protocol, which is nothing but the EGP. So routing protocol, broadly, it is categorized in IGP and EGP. In IGP, you have RIP, EIGRP, and OSPF, three routing protocol. And EGP, you have only one protocol, that is called BGP. So routing means you need to learn the four protocols, dynamic protocols: RIP, OSPF, EIGRP, and the BGP. And in the routing, there are three types of routing: static routing, default routing, and dynamic routing. Static routing, manually you need to write everything. Default routing, we use for the internet. Dynamic routing, which we use is in our organizations. So they are again categorized into IGP and EGP. So guys, this comparative study you need. Dynamic routing. Advantage of dynamic routing over static routing. See, there is no need to know the destination. Can you see the first advantage? For India router, you need to know the destination of the USA network. On USA router, you need to know the destination of India network. Like this, let's say you have UK office, then you need to know the UK destination network. But in the dynamic routing, you no need to know about that. That's the first advantage. Need to advertise the directly connected network. See, dynamic routing is the reverse of the static routing. In the static routing, what we were doing, just a recall. This is our diagram. Okay. So we were having routing table. This network, this is the first network, which is LAN. This is second network, which is WAN, and this third network, which is USA LAN. So we were like in static routing, we were adding this route here, and in USA we were adding this route here. But in dynamic routing, you just need to advertise your directly connected networks only. That's it. You no need to know what is in the USA, what is in the UK, what is in your branch offices. You just need to advertise under that routing protocol. You just need to advertise your directly connected network. That's it. You just need to see show IP routing, show IP interface brief, and you will see the your networks. Or you can go to the show IP route. You will see the C. C means directly connected networks. Just advertise that network into your routing protocol. That's it. It is a reverse of the static routing. It's very simple. Okay, but here updates topology changes dynamically. If suppose tomorrow one more branch came here, like some UK, you got another branch. So in the dynamic routing, you no need to go to every router and tell about UK network is came. What you need to do, you just need to add UK network and advertise their directly connected networks. That's it. So dynamic protocol, what they do, they will update the routing automatically. Okay, let's say you are running this two router. Okay, so these two routers, okay, if you are running dynamic routing protocol, any routing protocol, OSPF, RIP, or EIGRP, what they will do, periodically this router will share an entire routing table. Hello, this is my routing table. This guy will send routing table to this guy. So both will have all three networks each. Like this, they will share the information. So topology changes dynamically. If any network added, so every router will come to know automatically. You no need to go and statically come to know about that. Administrative work is reduced with the dynamic routing. Used for the larger organization. Neighbor router exchange routing information and build the routing table. See, neighbor router means you have many routers connected here. Let's say. So all these neighbor routers, they build a neighborship with each other, and they pass the information. That Saad will say, "Hey, I know Ubaid." Ubaid will say, "Hey, hi, hey, I know Shahid." Shahid will say, "I know Nadeem." So we now I never met Saad, but I came to know about Saad from the Shahid. How Shahid came to know, he came to know about Ubaid from, and how Ubaid he met Saad. So this is how the chain of a relationship. This is called a neighborship. So everything is happening via dynamically. That's why it is called dynamic routing. Everything is automated. here. So there are three types of dynamic routing: distance vector protocol, link state protocol, and hybrid protocol. Distance vector protocol, link state protocol, and hybrid protocol. So in each routing, in each class, there is one protocol. Distance vector protocol, RIP will come here. RIP protocol. Link state protocol, OSPF. And hybrid protocol, EIGRP. So these are the three protocols you need to understand: RIP, OSPF, and EIGRP. And they are actually categorized under distance vector protocol, link state protocol, and hybrid protocol. Okay, distance vector protocol, we'll see that. Work with, see, every routing protocol, it work on some algorithm. Distance vector protocol, it work on the Bellman-Ford algorithm. Periodic updates, classful routing protocol, classful routing protocol, full routing table or exchange, full routing table. Updates are through broadcast. Example, RIP1, RIP2. These are the two protocol. This protocol is gone. So RIP, routing information protocol. This protocol is having two versions, version 1 and version 2. Okay. So let's have a look on the, and this is a distance vector protocol where RIP use. So if you see here, what will happen? So in this routing, okay, in the USA router and India router, okay, you have LAN, Hyderabad, sorry, India LAN, USA LAN, and ISP. So now what we will do is, if suppose we run a RIP here, so what will happen? This router, it will exchange complete routing table to this guy. It will exchange complete routing table to this guy. So they will come to know each other. They will exchange the routing table. So same thing in the link state protocol, but it is use a Dijkstra algorithm. Dijkstra algorithm, it is like a tree. So what it will do? It will make a tree. It is connected here. It is connected here. It is connected here. So Dijkstra algorithm, link state update. If any new network come, automatically it will come to know in all routing table. All router will come to know about this. This is very fastest routing protocol. Classless routing protocol. It is classless. Let it understand the subnetting. See, link state distance vector protocol version 1, it don't understand the classful. It don't understand the subnetting. But link state protocol, it's advanced version, very faster than distance vector protocol, and it understand the what is called the subnetting. Missing routes are exchanged. See, instead of giving the entire information again and again, let's say periodically updates are happening. So let's say this is Ubaid and this is Shahid. So in every 30 minutes, 30 seconds, Ubaid is introducing to Shahid, hey, my name is Ubaid. Ubaid, I'm staying in Ahmed Colony. Shahid is saying, hi, my name is Shahid, I'm PSF admin. Again, Ubaid is saying, my name is Ubaid, I'm staying. So the same information again and again. So both will get bored, right? So this is what happening in the distance vector protocol. But in the link state protocol, you know what? Any missing information, they will update to each other only. That's it. The information which already know, let's say Shahid came to know about, he came to know about Saad. So he will just pass that information to that, okay, see, there is a Saad, he connected to me. So that information he will update in routing table. That's it. If suppose tomorrow something connected here to Ubaid, he will just update to this guy. So Shahid will again update to this guy. So this is how the router are actually, they exchange the routings to each other. And routing, in the routing table, there will be networks will be there. How many networks are there? It will be that. Updates are through multicast. Okay. Example is OSPF and ISIS. So these are two protocols used. ISIS, it is used in the ISP. So OSPF is very famous protocol, which is used in the infrastructure. And the third category is hybrid protocol. It is a combination of, see, distance vector protocol was having some advantages, was having some disadvantages. Similarly, link state protocol was having some advantages, some disadvantages. Hybrid protocol, it is a combination of advantage of the distance vector protocol, link state protocol, and it is very simple and very fast protocol. Hybrid protocol. See, it work on the dual fold algorithm, okay, and link state update, classless routing, missing routes are exchanged, updates are through multicast. Example, EIGRP. EIGRP, this protocol is a Cisco proprietary, and what Cisco does is, whatever the previous distance vector protocol, we have one protocol only, RIP. This protocol is good, but it is slow. But it is very simple to create, configure. Then in link state protocol, there is protocol called OSPF. It is faster than RIP, but it is very complicated to create. So EIGRP, when they created EIGRP, so they have taken the advantage, easiness and the fast. So that's why EIGRP protocol is very, very easy, very famous. But the drawback is EIGRP work on Cisco only. But if you have environment call, somewhere you have Cisco router, you have a Juniper router, you have other vendor stuff, so you cannot run the EIGRP here. So OSPF will run here. And you know, this routing is work on layer 3 device. So the routing will work between your router and the firewall. Firewall can does the routing. Okay, you need to update the route from here to here. So routing play a very important role in any organization. Like switching, it building the LAN. Similarly, routing, it building the WAN. So you're connecting your branch offices to each other. You're connecting your multiple VLANs to each other. Okay, so that's the routing. So distance vector protocol. Okay, administrative distance. So every protocol has some administrative values. Directly connected means it will show 0. Static routing, it will be 1. OSPF value is 110, RIP is 120. These are some number. So based on number, they will be sit in the routing table. Okay, let's say 0 means directly connected. Static routing, it will be in the last. Then on top of that, if you have, see, these are the optional routing protocol. If you have one network advertised via 2 different protocol, then it will choose from the who is the lowest protocol. So it will use that one. So administrative distance is assigned to each and everything. Okay, so let's have a look on quickly RIP protocol. See, the labs are very simple. Labs are just a command, a similar type of command you just need to put into that. So automatically you will see the routes. But the concept of the protocol is important. In the interviews, they will ask how the RIP work, how the OSPF work, how the EIGRP work. They will not ask you the commands. Okay, so that's why you need to understand this one. RIP, routing information, it is an open standard protocol. Open means IEEE standard. Any vendor can work. Classful routing protocol. Updates are through broadcast. All the updates sent via 255, 255, 255. Administrative distance is 120. Metric is hop count. So it understand the hop count means from one router to another router. This is one hop count. This is another router, third hop count. So it has limitation. RIP can support only 15 hop counts. If suppose you have larger organization where you have 50 branches, so RIP will not work there. See, this is the limitation of the RIP. For a small organization, RIP is good. Okay. Load balancing for equal path. This is something advanced. Is used for the small organization. Example is RIP version 1, version 2. So RIP having some timers. If the RIP saying, if suppose you are running RIP protocol in the 2 routers, the updates timer in every 30 seconds, they will talk to each other. Okay. Then if suppose any route is missing, then they will come to know about 180 seconds and it will flush from its routing table after 240 seconds. It's such a slower protocol. It is not a fast. It is simple in nature, but it is slower protocol, RIP. But RIP version 2 is came, which is faster than RIP 1. Okay, which support the subnetting and all. Okay, how to configure the RIP? Advantage of RIP: easy to configure, no design constraint, no complexity, less overhead. But bandwidth utilization very high because every router is saying in every 30 seconds they are exchanging a full routing table. Work only hop count, no scalable, and very slow protocol. How, see, this is the array, this one. So what you need to do here, you just need to advertise your network here. You just need to advertise your network here. That's it. So, by using the RIP protocol, what will happen? Let's say India router has this routing table currently, and USA router is having its own routing table. So by default, India router know about the 10 network and the 1 network. USA router know about the 20 network and the 1 network. So what they will do by using the RIP protocol, once the RIP configured on both sides, they will share the exchange the routing table each other. So when India router send the exchange the routing table, so USA routing see 1 I know already, 10 I don't know. So he will add the 10 network. And here it will add the 20 network. So like this, both routers will have three networks each. Then this machine, they can talk to this machine. This is how the routing is working. RIP. Very simple to configure. See, you just need to go to global configuration and say router RIP and just advertise directly connected networks. Okay. And if you want to use the version 2, just provide the version 2 command. That's it. Very simple. I will show you the lab quickly. So now see here. Okay. So currently I'm unable to ping from this LAN to this LAN. Why? Because this router don't know 30 network. Oh, sorry, don't know the USA LAN. Similarly, USA LAN don't know the India LAN. So what we can do is we don't want to know their destination. So what we can do is we can use a dynamic routing. So I'm in the India router. So let's say show IP interface brief. So these are our directly connected networks. If I say show IP route, so I will see, okay, you can put a filter, show IP route pipe section C. So you will see, these are the 2 directly connected networks. So these directly connected networks I need to advertise in my routing protocol. So I will say config terminal router question mark, see, router BGP, EIGRP, OSPF, RIP. So let's configure first RIP. Router RIP, I will say network. What is my first network, directly connected network? Let's say my LAN. So I will say 192.168.10.0 255.255.255.0. Sorry, you just need to advertise this one. Then similarly, you need to say 1.0. That's it. Finish. If you see show IP route, see there is nothing here. Still you have that directly connected networks only. So you configure RIP here. Now you can go here and similarly you go to the USA router and configure here or do show IP route. Okay, what are your directly connected networks? 1 and 20. So you just need to go router RIP, say network 192.168.20.0 and say network 192.168.20. 1.0. That's it. You just advertise your own networks. Now, can you see the show IP route? Can you see? Automatically the India LAN came here. And what it is, how it came? Via R. R means what? R means, where is R? RIP. And similarly, if you go here in India router, you can see here. See, previously there were no route here. But if you put the command again, can you see here? You got a new route here, 20 network. So can this machine ping to a USA machine now? Okay. If I go here, if I go ping, yes, dynamic routing done. Guys, 1 second. Okay, so Ubaid, can you see how simple it is? What you did automatically, you can see automatically the routing came here. This route automatically came here. And you can see the 120 means it representing this one. So that's the beauty of, and what is the command? Show run. If you see, so what you did, you just go to the router RIP and you just advertise your own network, directly connected network. That's it. So what happened with that effect? All the non-directly connected networks came into picture. See? Okay, now I will extend this. Let's say USA router, okay, it got a new network attached to it. So how can I attach that new network? Config terminal, interface, let's say loopback I'm creating. Loopback is, let's say, a dummy network. Loopback 0, and I will say IP address, let's say 192.168.30.0 255.255.255.0. Okay, sorry, 30.1. Okay, so if you look at here, show IP interface brief. Okay, so you can see you got a new network here, new LAN here. And if you see show IP route, so you will see this 30 dot network. Where is the 30 dot network? See, it is showing it is connected directly. Okay, this 30 dot network, is it available? Is it available in its in RIP in India router? Just have a look here. No, it is not there, because with the R only one route is there, 30 not there. So what you need to do, you need to advertise that directly connected network in the RIP. So I will go to USA router again, router RIP. I will say network 192.168.30.0. That's it. See, the moment I added in the USA router, you just go and check here in the India router. Okay. Previously you having one only, but now if you go and check show IP route, can you see a new route came into picture here? And you can directly, you can check here this network, this machine, it can ping to this network also. Ping 30.1. Can you see? So dynamic routing, it make your life very simple. You no need to update anything. You no need to wait for anything. Anything happening, you just need to advertise into that router. So it will pass to all the information. So it is like simple. Previously, Ubaid and Shahid, they were friends. So they were know each other. Shahid, he met a new friend Nadim. So the moment he met Nadim, so he will inform to Ubaid. So now Ubaid can be reach out to me directly. So this is how the routing, dynamic routing is. So dynamic routing, it is simple, and it is they're advertising the routes dynamically. Okay, so RIP, when we see the RIP, so there are two show IP route. This command, it will tell you this one. So you can say show IP route RIP. When you put this command, so you will see what are the networks are coming via this protocol. See, this 20 and 30, these networks are coming via RIP. You can, there's one more thing, show IP data, RIP database. There is one more command. Show RIP, show route, show IP route, RIP, one second. Show RIP, show route, show routing, will it come? No. Show IP, RIP database. See, this is the command, show IP, RIP database. So you will see some more detail. So in the CCNP, you will see the study of this database and these tables and all. But here, what do you understand? Show IP route RIP. So by the use of RIP, automatically this route came. So why it is came now? How to remove the routing protocol? See, now I'm done with the RIP. So what I can do? I will just simply go and say no router RIP. Finish. Similarly, I will go to the US router. I will say config terminal no router RIP. Finish. So now if you go and check show IP route, nothing is a see that R means that routing it's gone. Similarly, if you go here, previously you were seeing these networks, but can you see here show IP route? Nothing. Show IP route RIP. Do you see anything here? Nothing. See how the simple is configuration. Just one command. If I remove, everything gone. And by adding, you just need to add the stuffs. So this is RIP. It is little bit slow, okay, but it is easy in nature. So is it clear, Ubaid? Ubaid, Saad, any questions? Maudud?
Yes, sir, understand.
Okay, good. So let's go and have a look on another protocol, OSPF. See, these protocols, the objective of this protocol is same, adding the route, adding the non-directly connected route. Only thing is speed, configuration, and other stuff. Okay, you need to choose which protocol you want. All does a same thing. Static, dynamic, default. Everything does the same thing. Just a communication from one network to another network. Okay, so OSPF, you can see here. So what is the OSPF? Links. It is a link state protocol match faster to conversion. No routing loops. Force you to design your network correctly. So OSPF, it is open standard protocol. Okay. See, RIP also open standard protocol. You can run between Cisco and Juniper router. You can OSPF also you can run between Cisco and Palo Alto firewall. You can run between two different vendor. That's why the standard protocol. It link state protocol. It is very faster. Unlimited hop count. Can you see the limitation? RIP was possible when you have 15 routes, 15 hops only. But OSPF has unlimited hop counts. Okay, you can extend it anywhere. Okay, so the metric in the OSPF, it is bandwidth 8 into 8 by 8 is 10 is to 8 by bandwidth. So that is the cost. So actually it understand, it calculate the route distance based on the metric. Okay, so administrative distance is 110. It is classless routing protocol. It support equal password balancing, and it is there is concept of area is coming here. So in the OSPF, you need to have all you need to have create an area. So this is called a area. Then you can have a area border, ABR. Okay, so what is the advantage here is if suppose something happened to this area, so it will impact here only. So rest all the areas will be same, no impact. So that's advantage. So it's a design complexity. Okay, and OSPF what it does is it form the neighborship. Whenever a neighbor form, whenever you configure the OSPF, they will send each other router ID, hello packets and all. So in the hello packet, what they will do first, it will be down state, then one of the router will be initial state, then they will become a two-way states. Okay, then extra state. So these are some states of this one, and they will become a neighbor to each other. So router types: internal router, area ABR, autonomous ABR. So internal, if your router is in within one area 0, they called internal router. If your router is participating in two areas, that is called ABR, area border router. And if your router is participating in two different routing protocol, OSPF and RIP, that is called ASBR. Okay, this detailed study you will find in the CCNP, and CCI level study is available there. Okay, but at the CCNA level, you must know about the area 0 concept and how the area is working. Okay, so OSPF, it manages two tables. neighbor table, database table, and routing table. RIP manage two table, database table and routing table, but OSPF manage one more table that is called neighbor table. Okay, how to configure the OSPF? Okay, how to configure the OSPF? It's very simple. Commands are here. I will show you. Okay, so now if I go here, show IP route. See, I don't have anything. I removed that RIP configuration. I'm in the India router. So what I'm going to do? Config terminal, router, OSPF. So here you need to define process ID. So let's say process ID I'm using 1. Okay, now I need to define the network. What are my directly connected networks? So network 192.168.10.0, which is my network. Okay, then here there is a concept of wildcard mask. Wildcard mask, it is opposite of the subnet mask. So generally for the class C, what is the for the class C, what is the subnet mask? 255.255.255.0. So wildcard mask is something called reverse of the opposite of the broadcast. Sorry, subnet mask. So instead of 255.25, sorry, 255.255.0, it will be reverse 0.0, sorry, 0.0.0.255, and you need to define area. See, if you put this enter, see, it will tell you incomplete command. So you need to define the network belongs to which area. So I will say area 0. See, you can create this many of area in OSPF. So I will say area 0. I also have another network that is called my directly connected network, that is called .1 area 0. So that's it. So I just created that network, and if you see there, show run. So what I did, I configured the router OSPF and I apply this command. See, in RIP you were just adding this much, but in OSPF you need to add this all thing, area and this wildcard mask. Why? In this CCNP you will come to know like why, like what is the advantage of this one, how we can calculate the routes and all those very detailed stuff, you can see that. Okay, now I'm going to this router config terminal, do show IP interface brief. Okay, these are, I have a two networks. Let's add two networks first. Config terminal, router, OSPF, same process ID 1. I will say a network 192.168. What is my LAN? USA LAN 20.0. What is the wildcard? Reverse of your subnet mask 255 and area 0. Right now, I need to add another network, which is my ISP 1.0. The moment I done here, you just wait here, you will see one message on the screen. So see, we wait for 6 to 8 seconds. So suddenly you came OSPF process. So it form a new neighborship. Okay, if you go and check show IP OSPF neighbor, see, it said I got a new neighbor, I got a new friend who is here, 191, whose IP address is 192.168.10.1. Okay, which is connected to via this interface. And if I see the route, show IP route, can you see here? Oh, I got a new network here. Okay, and if you see show IP route OSPF, so you will see, okay, this route got advertised from OSPF. Similarly, if I go here into India router, and if you see show IP route, so you can see, okay, this is the route, OSPF route, and OSPF represent administrative distance 110. And if you see the show IP OSPF neighbor, so can you see this is your neighbor? But can you see from OSPF how your OSPF show IP route OSPF? See, you got one network here. So now let me add another network which is 30, which is connected to USA. So how can I add that? Just go to config terminal, router OSPF 1. So here I will just add another network called 30. See how faster this protocol is. The moment I added here, so you can go to the India router and check here. So this routing protocol, it sent this one. See, 30 dot network. How faster it came. The moment, okay, if I want to remove it, so what I'm going to do, so from India router, okay, so what I'm going to do, let's say this network I want to make down. So what I can do, I will go here, config terminal interface, loopback 0, I will say shutdown. So moment I shut down here, so you will no longer see this route. See that route gone. Why? Because that network is down. But in EIG, in RIP, this shutdown, when you shut down, it will take some time to remove the route, because it take 240 seconds to flush the route. But OSPF is very faster. It links state. One link is up, down, it will update to each other. So Ubaid, the question to you, RIP, OSPF, which one is good?
OSPF.
Okay. Why?
Because we are directly putting the extra the
Okay.
and the extra routers, and we can directly connect it within.
How about Saad and Maudud? Which protocol you like it so far? So, okay, see, the moment I make a no shutdown that network. So can you see here? Just wait for, okay, see, within 2 minutes that network came back. So I can say it is faster, but OSPF protocol, the configuration is a little bit complex, right? So RIP is easy in configuration, but OSPF is faster. So that's the difference you can see. So what I'm going to do, I will say no router OSPF. I'm just removing it, OSPF 1. See, I removed the routing. See, in one lab only, we are doing all the labs, one topology only. Exit, I will say no router OSPF 1. Done. So now if you see a show IP route, there is nothing here. See, it gone. So now the third routing protocol, which is very easy. Now you will, after this, you will say which one is good. Cisco proprietary classless routing protocol include all feature of IGP. Okay, its metric is bandwidth, delay, and MTU. Administrative distance is 90. Update multicast, and it a hop count is 255, and a hello packet sent in every 5 seconds. Coverage rate is very faster. Okay, its coverage range is very fast. It also maintains 3 table: neighbor table, topology table, and routing table. Okay, so how to configure the EIGRP? Okay, the only disadvantage of EIGRP is it work on the Cisco only. So how the EIGRP work is, it form the neighbor, then from the neighbor it form the topology, and based on that it will form the routing table. So 3 tables got created from the EIGRP. So if you go back here, configure the EIGRP, it's very simple again. Okay, I will go to router, EIGRP, let's say 1. And here I just need to advertise 192.168.10.0. And I need to advertise mine directly 1.0. It's like a RIP. How we configure RIP, the same thing in EIGRP we need to configure. Okay, config terminal, router, EIGRP 1, network. I will say my LAN 192.168.20.0, and I will say, see, the moment I had added here, just notice here. Can you see here? Immediately the neighbor came. Immediately the neighbor came here. Now see, show IP EIGRP neighbor. See, the neighbor is there. Show EIGRP, show IP EIGRP topology. You can see the topology here. And finally show IP route. You can see the route. D means EIGRP. See, administrative distance is 90. So see, we got the 10 network. Similarly, if you go here to the India router and see here, show IP route. See, the D, it came here. So now if suppose I'm adding that my another network, which is 30, I'm adding here, config terminal. So how can I add here? Just go to the router EIGRP and just add it here 30.0. See, the moment I added here, it came. You go to the India router and see show IP route. See, show IP route EIGRP. See, these two networks came. So now see here, now one notice here. So now let's say I'm shutting down my loopback. Okay, let's say exit interface loopback 1, sorry, loopback 0, shut down. See, the moment I shut down it, just see here, see, it gone. It's faster than OSPF. It's faster than OSPF. See, it now tell me, now compare these three protocols: RIP, OSPF, EIGRP. So, Uber, tell me which one is good now.
EIGRP is the faster.
Exactly, and easy in configuration. If you see here, show run, see, it's like a EIG, just you need to advertise your network. No need of area concept, no need of wildcard mask and all, just area concept. Sorry, just a network. And so how EIGRP got built, you know, it take the easiness of RIP and it takes fastness of OSPF. It's a combination of two protocol. That's why EIGRP is #1 protocol, but the disadvantage is only it work for the route Cisco. And if for the vendor wise, if you take the OSPF is the largest protocol, which is used heavily. So if you go for the CCI routing and switching, so you will see the detail of this one only. See, in CCNP, what you're going to learn in the CCNP, the same thing, same RIP, OSPF, EIGRP, but detailed study of that. Similarly, same VLAN, same STP, VTP, but the detail of that. Similarly, you have a study till what is called, you can study till what is called CCI level. Okay, so what is the advantage here is you can study till CCI level. So all this concept in the routing switching, whatever we learn, HSRP, STP, VTP, Ether channel. So detail of that, again, we will in the professional will go or more detail, and CCI level will go more and more detail of that. In the routing, you will see the static, dynamic, and default routing only. But again, some more advanced in the CCNP level and more advanced in the CCI level. So that's the CCNA routing and switching. Switching concept, all those 10 topics in the routing, you have these topics: static, default, and the dynamic. Okay, and some more advanced things are coming, like advanced things are there which you can have a look on that. Like, let's say the NAT is something to access the internet, we require a NATing. Okay, similarly ACLs are there, ACLs which comes in CCNA security. We can see that like how can you connect from one network to another network, how you can restrict that to one network to another network, that ACLs, some more advanced concepts are coming. So as I told, this is not end, but in the CCNA level, you must know about the switches, router, access them, configure them, show commands. Okay, basic configuration of the LAN, VLANs, VTP, trunk, VTP, STP, all the basics, routing basics, static, default, and understanding of the RIP, OSPF, and this one. If you achieve that, that's well enough. That is only expected from the CCNA level. But if you want to go into detail, then you have a CCNP, then you have top of CCI. You can become expert of the routing. Got it? So this is how the stuff is switches and routers. And one more thing, firewalls. In the future, you need to learn the firewall also, because as a network engineer, firewall is also required. Okay, but not here. After this course, once you get the job, learn the firewalls. Okay, but this is how whatever we learn so far in last 10 around my 10 lectures in CCN, like starting from basics of network, then networking, then OSI layers. Okay, from OSI layer to the switches, router, firewall, and switches in the switching technology, and in the router, this routing technology. So this complete combination of this one. So how you're connecting LAN to LAN. So this is a networking. Okay, now this is the end of CCI. As I told, this is not the end. Okay, this is just a beginning. So you got some idea from here. So you can go detail of this one. I will send the documents and all. more documents and all this one. So you can go through with detail, and from Monday you will get started a Microsoft Server administration. So please be on time. So it will be offline class. Mr. Mamshad sir, he will come and start with this. And once his Microsoft Server complete, maybe it will take 2 to 3 weeks. Once that is completed, then I will get back to you guys again offline, and we will prepare your resume and we will upload into the Monster and this one. So maybe end of December, okay, we will meet at the PSF office. Till that time your Microsoft Server will be over. Then we will prepare your resume including networking concept, okay, computer hardware, networking, troubleshooting, software and all. Then CCNA routing and switching concept and the Microsoft concept. So these all things, your resume will become very heavy and you can be into the market now. So that was the objective of our course. Okay, any questions? With
Dynamic, this exterior BGP node.
okay, so BGP, it is in the CCNP. It is complex protocol and it required more details, and that's why it kept into the CCNP. At CCNA level, BGP is not there. Okay, so you can have the study and do the practice, and with once you understand, please make other people, other students also understand how these routings and all. They can watch this video, but they miss this big lecture. I don't know why, but you need to do the practice, complete it today, and you can show them. And don't forget, see, practice is the key for the Cisco. If like from next week you are starting Microsoft, and if you haven't touched the Cisco router switches, this one, then you will get forget in 15 days. I'm telling you. So give every day 1 hour or 30 minutes. Do keep practicing the switches, keep practicing the routing. Try to, but first do what I have shown you. Okay, then go a little bit advanced. Okay, slowly you can go for the advanced. Go for the Google. Prepare your own prepare your own notes. What is RIP detail? You go to watch the YouTube videos. Go for the EIGRP. Go for the videos. So I have some another lectures also I have given on in another platform. So I will share that link as well. In that you can see the advanced CCNA stuff. Like I have gone more detail of this routing protocol. So you can watch that as well, and you can go through with that. So with this, I will end, and I will let's from Monday. Let's Mamshad sir continue start the Microsoft Server administration, and it will take 2 to 3 weeks. And once during he completed, or maybe end of December, we will meet again, and we will prepare your resume. We will make you ready for the interviews, and we will upload your resume on the portal. And from January 1st week, you guys will be in the market. Okay, for hunting the job.
Sir, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry?
And the notes.
Notes I will send right away. Okay. So I have the notepads. I will share you all the commands and all. So that's it. So we will meet again, and